Oh, that was a rookie error. Hello, bird nerds. Forgot to add myself to the stream. You probably didn't hear any of those things I said in the pre-show. Hi, I'm Grant. I'm a bird nerd. That's a swift parrot behind me. They're critically endangered. So if you'd like to lend your assistance to save the Swifty before it disappears, Bob Brown Foundation's a good place to start with a petition. If you don't know, they migrate from Tasmania, where they breed, to the mainland, but there's hardly any of them left. So there we go. Where am I? I'm looking at different monitors and sorry, freaking you all out. Thanks for being with me. We're talking about the strange places that birds decide to nest today, keeping the Monday urban birds theme going. Housekeeping too. Holly will be back with me in 2 weeks from now, 5th of December. So next week we'll be coming up with another. I think we'll do some plant stuff and we might think about some good Christmas gifts if you're heading to the garden centre for bird lovers. What do you think of that idea? Okay. Thanks for joining us live. It's nice to see you. Could you pop in the comments whereabouts you are from, and we'll discuss some of the unique locations that people are in. Gee, I'm getting some ghosting on this. Sorry, the background's playing crazy today. Oh, that's very strange. Actually, that's so strange. Just give me a second. I'm going to pop an overlay of the first place, and I'm going to just fix a light. I think that's why that's doing that. So just play amongst yourselves for just a minute. Montague Island, thanks to Christina on Twitter, sending that one in. Now, it's not that unusual, really, except that it's quite a high traffic area. That's quite a high traffic area, that spot, for tourists and regulars. You can see the park staff or whoever have roped it off. That's nice, but that's quite a decent colony, isn't it? Look how far it spreads, and look at all the birds flying around. Crested terns, not nice neighbours. They do get on each other a bit, don't they? Welcome to, where are we? Welcome Twitch. Hello. It's not very often that Twitch outnumbers the other services. That's nice to see. Where are you, Twitch? Tell me where you're from. G'day, David. I'm glad you're on Twitch. Now, David made a contribution to the discussion on Twitter today. Now, David, I'm going to recount your story. You've got spotted pardalotes who are nesting in a pile of wood chips from a tree that was either recently pruned or recently removed. David, is it in a high pedestrian area? Like, is it in a like, are people walking past it regularly, or are they fairly secluded where they've chosen to nest? Pardalotes will nest in all sorts of weird places. I've seen them nesting in wood piles in a number of places. When I lived in Gippsland, we had a pair of pardalotes that would take advantage of any spot. I saw them nesting amongst some not chopped wood. I did see them nesting in chopped wood, but a whole roots and basically rubbish. Old fencing wire and everything that someone had pushed up into a pile on a farm. So basically a bonfire heap. Where are we? Yeah. in the back paddock. I hope the dog leaves them alone, and I certainly hope the snakes don't get them. Do you get both of the pardalotes down up there? I should say, David, is it down or up? I'm in Melbourne. I would say up there in Ballarat. That would be good to know whether you have both of the pardalotes. There we are. Back to me. Now, swift parrots. Who would not like to see a swift parrot? Now. This is one of my. Oh, that was what I was saying. I'm going to put this one up again. I'll give you a 3 cheers if you can tell me what kind of bird that is nesting there. What have we got? Up there, yep. Spotted seems to be the main ones. Yeah, have you heard the striatids? The spotteds have got a very distinctive call. Okay. Anyone going to have a guess at what kind of bird that is nesting there? And I'll tell you the story about the bird in a minute. Cheers too, by the way. Who would have thought at this time of the year, like what is it, the third week in November, and I've got a hoodie on. I was hoping that we might get summer this year. Yes, David, the grey shrike thrush. Well spotted. Unfortunately, I don't have any sponsors that would give me a present to give you there, but yes. Grey shrike thrush. Regular contributor to all the discussions and first heard and seen. What do I call it? First seen and heard. Deb in Gippsland has contributed that. Now, Deb has also contributed another one, which I think is a beauty. There was a white-browed scrub wren nesting in that hat. Now, that is really, really cool. Now, and I should note, I'll have to get my thread up on Twitter, so bear with me while we do that. Where's the thread? I think it's in this one, isn't it, with Meg? No, that's the new one. Okay, I've got those to talk about in a second. Okay, I think Holly's doing the Birds in Backyard account today. So Holly had contributed. Here we are. Let me. Sorry, it's not. It's easier when I've got a guest on. They can distract you. Let me just do the Twitter. Chrome tab. Twitter. There we are. Let me get this up as well. Okay, take the overlay down of the hat. Okay. So let's just have a little look here. Holly, I'm pretty sure it was Holly because she's the superb fairy wren fan. She's seen some superb fairy wrens nesting in between a colorbond fence and another piece of colorbond leaning up against it. So I'm guessing it's in like a lean-to situation. I've seen similar. Fairy wrens will nest anywhere they get an opportunity. I do like this one of Harry's, though. Harry Sadler, friend of the show. Once when he was an undergrad, I was chatting to a couple of people who were working with small birds either fairy wrens or thornbills. And one of them mentioned that he'd found a bird's nest inside a cow's skull. I have also seen that on a farm, and it was striated thornbills. I believe the ones that I saw long time ago, back when I was a kid. So that's those two. Let me come back to what we're doing here. Oh, hello. Welcome. We've got a lot more. Hello, Twitch. Oh, we've got a big audience on Twitch today. Hello, that's nice to see. And hello, YouTube. Look, just so that I can get an idea of where you're watching from, just pop in the comments. We know that David is outside of Ballarat. Tell me where you are otherwise, and we will we'll have a squiz there. Okay, right. We've had a look at the white-browed scrub wren nesting in a hat. We've checked out the grey shrike thrush nesting on top of a cupboard in a carport or a shed. I think it was a carport. We've checked out the crested terns on Montague Island. I really like that colony being so close to the walkway. And you can see the walkway snakes around through the colony and round and down the bottom here. So I hope you can see what I was doing there with that. Okay, let's have a look. This was contributed by Chris Power. Now, this is at a church, I believe. I hope you can see the bush stone curlew nesting there. That's obviously a door, the blue door. But look what else. From the other angle, that's the car park. So that would be quite a heavy traffic area. And I hope you can pick out the wonderfully camouflaged bush stone curlew there. The car park. So let's go back from the reverse angle. And thanks, Chris, for taking the photos. So there's the door and there's the bush stone curlew. Right. Oh, good. Keep the comments coming in. What have we got here? Oh, hi, Naomi. Oh, you submitted something on Messenger, did you? Okay. Let me just see if I can find it. Oh, here we go. It's just turned up 2 minutes ago. All right, let me see what it is, and I'll see whether we can share it. A silver gull at Circular Quay. Just play amongst yourselves for a minute, and I'll see if I can get that into... Hopefully it'll turn up on my Facebook. That would be good. I never do Facebook, Naomi, so I just send stuff there. But here we go. We do have the Bird Emergency Facebook page coming up. Oh, message, highlighted blue. Oh, that means there must be a message there from someone. I don't want to do the review, the changes. Thank you, Mr. Zuckerberg. There's a message. Message. Oh. Not having any luck so far. Open in Messenger. Sorry, Naomi. Sorry, everyone who's watching. No. So I can now do all this wonderful cross message stuff apparently, but I can't find what I want. Not having any luck finding any of those search messenger. Oh, actually, maybe I have to. I think I have to stop being me, and I have to start being. Here we go. This might work. Here we go. If I go to be the bird emergency rather than me. Sorry for wasting your time there. Use page. Okay. Oh, do I want those or do I have to do that later? Oh, Facebook. What a mess. What are you? Okay, all messages. I think we might have got there. Oh, someone wants to donate. That would be nice. Ah, here we are. Here we go. Found it, Naomi. Let's expand this. Can we make this full size? Open image in the new tab. Oh, there we are. Oh, it doesn't want to let me do the full size, but let's just do that. Thanks, Naomi, for the bush stone curler. Everyone loves that. Okay, here we go. We're about to see the silver gull, and this actually fits in a bit with one that's coming up shortly. I can't make that full screen or bigger. Sorry to say. Let's try that. There we are. That's better. So that's on top of one of the pylons at Circular Quay. If you've ever been to Sydney, you will know how busy Circular Quay is. So that's that's a nice one. Thanks, Naomi. All right, let's go back to the Twitter. And in a minute, we'll run through some more of those. All right. Where are we now? We've done those. Okay, these couple are really cool. Both submitted by Meg Moppet on Twitter. But how cool is this one? The Willy Wagtail nesting on the handlebars of the racing bike, I'm guessing, and doesn't have the big the big dragster kind of handlebars, but they are cool. Now, I've got a Willy Wagtail story too that I can tell you in a minute. There we are, just so you don't have to be convinced. It's actually feeding the youngsters. They're there. So I'll take that one down for a second. And we'll also take that off full screen. So I've got me back there again. Yeah, so I had Willy Wagtails nesting on a clothesline, the old Hills hoist with the classic Hills hoist, and it had a little bit of protection on the top, a little bit of cowling on the top. And I'd been away on holidays for maybe 2 weeks, and when I came back, there's Willy Wagtails nesting, and the little bit at the apex of the clothesline. On that same clothesline, some mudlarks, magpie larks, had attempted to nest at one time, but they got disturbed. When the woolly wagtail was nesting there, I wound it down so that it couldn't spin around. But it had been quite happy there with it spinning around. So yeah, really adaptable. I mean, has anyone seen anything that cool or that unusual? I don't think I've ever heard of anything nesting on a bike before. Naomi, you might appreciate this one because it's a little bit similar to your silver gulls on Circular Quay. Now, let's have a look at again, Meg has submitted this, the white-browed wood swallow. Now, these are a very, very handsome bird. So that's a metal fence post, square fence post. You can see the gate and, of course, the time-honoured bush latch, the yellow hay twine. Actually a bit thicker than hay twine, isn't it? But and did I say yellow? That's obviously orange. Don't you love the fencing wire just wrapped around? You can fix anything with a piece of fencing wire, by the way. And what an amazingly handsome bird the white-browed wood swallow is. One of the all-time favourites there. One of the all-time favourites. Now we're going to have to go back and go through some of the submissions on Twitter that haven't had photos to support them, because that's all the photos that we got. But in the comments, tell me some of your other examples. Now, there's the cowboy hat. Yes, now there's one that weatherboard. Oh no, who told me that one about the plovers? Oh, that was Mon. Plovers nesting on a busy roundabout. That's I have definitely seen plovers nesting in all kinds of places. Let's just stroll back because there were some others. David, there's yours. The pardalotes. Let's keep going. There's Meg. Meg's here. It was nice when they were all popped into the one stream, but the one thread, but not everyone did that. Here we go. Many years ago, my neighbour had a woolly wagtail make a nest on the corner of the Hills Hoist. Now, that was different to where mine were, so that's the corner of the Hills Hoist. Let's get that one up so you can all read it. Okay, so probably an old straw broom over the top, I would imagine, for some protection, and successfully reared 3 chicks. Thanks, Juliet T. Saltwater woman. So I'm guessing that you're from up on the up at the top end of Australia. Thanks for that contribution. What else have we got here? Here's Harry's again. The thornbill inside the cow's skull. Holly, I'm pretty sure that's Holly. If it's not Holly, tell me. If it's somebody else at BirdLife, let me know. Brushstone curlew in the church. So that was Chris's one. So that car park that... let's go back and share that one again. So this was this car park for this brushstone curlew. So you see the car park there, and that's the church and the door of the church. But that car park is shared with the local primary school that has 650 kids attending. So Good on you, stone curlews. Okay, David. So you've just put the pardalotes in, have you? Good. So is that in the Twitter thread? I'll find that in just a minute. I'll just whiz through the other comments that didn't have photographic evidence. Lots of discussions about all the changes to Twitter. There's Christina's turns. There's some of the first seen and heards. That's good. I think we're just about... Deb puts in these fantastic photos every morning as part of First Seen and Heard, which we'll talk about in just a minute. Pretty lovely shots, hey? I hope you can see that well enough. If not, let's blow that one up. That deserves to be seen quite tall. There we are. Lovely red-browed finch that Deb gets to see each morning. Let's keep coming. I think we've got most of them. Chirper, chirper, cheep, cheep. Who's put that one up? Oh no, that was just someone being polite. I think that's most of them. Let's just check a few more. Most of them now are the mastodon. Okay, I think that's all. Let's. I'll stop sharing that. Oh no, I won't. I'm checking out the notifications, aren't I? Because David's just put this in. Terrific. Okay, here's the pardalotes. Okay. Oh, so it's a wood pile. It looks like there's some quite solid branches in there, David. And I'm guessing that is the entrance to the nest hole above that sort of lime greeny spot. Oh, that's a beauty too. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Nice contribution, David. So, now I know David's in Ballarat. Naomi, you're in the Central Highlands, the Jimmy Barnes region of New South Wales. Let's see where else people are. Now, Naomi, you're on Facebook, so I know that that's you. So, the Twitch lurkers, where are you from? And our YouTubers, where are you from? And let's see if someone else can give us an experience. Owls are very adaptable. Barn owls particularly. So they often turn up in really weird places. Somebody told me on the Twitters that pelicans are known to nest in weird places, and we're talking about power poles. Hi, Peter. Nice to see you again. Southwest WA. Peter, I don't know if you caught the interview I did with Sarah Comer, where we talked about noisy scrub wrens, western ground parrots, western bristlebirds, and western whipbirds. Tell me, Peter, this is for you. Have you seen any of those birds in Southwest WA? and I might just say sometimes I've made the bold claim that apart from about a handful of Australian birds, I can't think of many that have increased in number over the last few years. And there we are. Yeah. Well, thanks, Peter. Yeah, it was a good discussion, wasn't it? I mean, we did go on a bit, but it was great to be able to talk in so much detail about the work that Sarah and the Southwest Recovery team have been doing there. But the noisy scrubbird is one of the birds I need to put in my list of birds that has increased in number because it's bounced quite back. The airbird sanctuary. So what would you have seen there, Peter? The western whipbird, would that have been what you would have seen there? I'm guessing the airbird sanctuary is on the Eyre Peninsula. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not really really sure. And of course, this is where we sort of just have a bit of a chin wag. I'm loving that there are so many people from Twitch on here. That's great. Twitch watchers, Twitch lurkers. Tell us where you're at, because isn't Twitch all about the chat? It always is when I watch Hasanabi. Peter, I need you to tell me whereabouts the airbird sanctuary is. Is anyone curious? Photography Friday is coming back soon. Is anyone curious to know which camera I ended up getting? Now, Peter, that was something that came up the other day. Oh, that reminds me. That's the other thing I've got to show you too, don't I? I've got to show you what got me thinking about this whole topic, and I know somebody did ask me about it. So let me get that one up as well. Okay. Okay. So it's near Eucla. Is that right, Peter? Is that where we're talking about? You're in Petrie. Okay. Hi, Mon. Nice to see you. And Mon's doing the right thing, greeting everyone. Isn't it good? We're all in our own little bird community. And while we're talking amongst ourselves, who has set up a Mastodon account in anticipation that Twitter is going to fall over? Gee, I've read some really interesting stuff from people who used to work there. They're just waiting for perhaps the World Cup, the demand of Twitter on the World Cup might collapse it. Okay, Naomi, what kind of camera will I get? Would you like to see it without the lens on? Let's see if we can... There we are. Did that answer your question there, Naomi? There we are. And does anyone have a comment about it? I'm happy to discuss why I selected that particular camera, and I took a long time to decide. But yeah, Photography Friday, photography with an F, will be coming back as soon as I've worked out all of the functions, and I will be obviously including clips of my own, I would hope, very soon. Okay, somebody's what's happening here? Okay, Deb's just telling me that I'll just answer her. just telling you, she says she's having trouble getting in. Oh, that's Twitch. Just telling me she's having trouble getting into the stream, which is unfortunate. Okay, look, we just go through. That's the good thing about being live. Okay. Yes. Yeah, let's talk a little bit, or I'll talk a little bit about my thoughts on Mastodon and Twitter. I don't want Twitter to die because it's been great for getting a bird community going. But it might go away. We just don't know. So it's always good to have a second option. So I'm thinking of adding a chat function into the bird emergency and then making everyone register as a user of the bird emergency, and at least then it would be an environment where it'd be really easy for, it's something, let's be serious, it's only going to be a couple of dozen or, maybe 50 people or whatever at the most who would be wanting to be involved. But that would be a really easy place for people to find each other. On my Mastodon, I've managed to find, and a lot of people have followed me, which has been good, and my Twitter handle is the same as my Mastodon handle, and I've got a page. I don't know if you've all caught up with it, but I have been putting a little table together of people who want their Mastodon shared. So that's at thebirdemergency.com/Mastodon, and I'll be updating that more this afternoon. So if you want to be on that, let me know either on Twitter, send me at me on Twitter or DM me, or you can email me at news@thebirdemergency.com or grant@thebirdemergency.com, and I will put you on that list of bird nerds, and you can make it easy to be found on Mastodon. Now, somebody, forgive me, I can't remember who, somebody said we should get First Seen and Heard going on Mastodon. I completely agree. It's just not quite as easy at the moment until I get a handle on the Toots app to put my little video up each day. But I do First Seen and Heard. We better put the banner up there. Hashtag First Seen and Heard turns up on Twitter, and then I do a different one for Facebook and Instagram, and I do a different one for YouTube Shorts. They're all basically the same, but sometimes there's a different bird in the background. Sometimes sometimes I run out of coffee. But who knows? All right, that's my Mastodon. And if you want to check out the people that I have already put on the list, that's where you can find that. Oh, we've got to put this one on. There we are. I haven't used all my tickers today. We are also going to still. Oh, let's go. That's my Instagram, and you should be subscribed to the Bird Emergency on YouTube. Now that I have this little beauty, and I've also got things that go on the front, I'm just waiting on some cables so that I can use it more doing the live streams and have different angles and whatnot. But very shortly, I'll be doing a lot more bird emergency stuff on YouTube, and we'll probably, let's just run through all of those so you can join me there. I haven't really got the TikTok happening yet, but that will be something I want to do soon. And here we go. That is the petition that is still very important for all of us to, if we haven't signed it, go over to actforbirds.org and check out Save Toondah. I haven't got the video clip up there, have I? Or can I? This might be disastrous. I'm just going to see whether I can move to the other settings I've got and play the clip. So let's see. Oh, I can. Okay. Simple yes or no in the comments. Would you like to see the fantastic video that BirdLife Australia put together to save Toondah Harbour? Should we do that? Just a Y or an N or a thumbs up or something in the comments if you haven't seen it already. Oh, Peter, that reminds me too. Cocklebiddy. Yeah. Somewhere I've got to go there. Okay. Oh, hello, Stan. Stan's with us. Okay. All right. So I'm guessing that means that you haven't seen the wonderful video that BirdLife put together. So let me run that. Or let me take the Y down. And Naomi, since you were interested in the camera, and Stan, I'd also like to know with you, anyone who's in the chat and taking photos, taking pictures, tell me what you are using, and we'll talk cameras in a minute. Let me just, we're going to run the Toondah video. Here we go.
Eastern curlew, it's a critically endangered bird. It migrates from Alaska and Siberia back to Toondah Harbour. They fly between 9,000 and 11,000 kilometres. They come back, they're skinny, they're exhausted, and they use the time here to fatten up.
The immediate area, it's a feeding area for eastern curlew. If you remove a feeding area, they are not able to put on weight for the long migratory journeys.
And they want to build high-rise apartments.
It must be a no-go area. Developing out onto the mudflats is totally unacceptable.
Well, Toondah Harbour is a very important habitat. It's part of Moreton Bay. The migratory shorebirds actually spend up to 9 months a year here.
These birds feed and live on mudflats.
These birds come back to Australia. They spend more time here than anywhere else. So to say that we're going to put in a large, concrete, glitzy archipelago when that actually means trash a Ramsar site, no, not acceptable.
This is public land and they're giving it to a private developer, taking away something that belongs to all of us.
When Raby Bay was built, within 2 years, 5,000 birds that used to roost near that area had totally gone. They totally disappeared. So for the developers to say that, this is going to have no real impact, that is not true. The fact is that under national and international law, migratory shorebirds are all protected. The advice was this development is clearly unacceptable, and yet they totally ignore it.
When the minister goes against what the Department of Environment says, there's something to worry about.
Why have an international action plan and yet not do everything in its power to set the example? It will be a national shame if this development is given approval.
Become curious. Discover the amazing natural world that surrounds you, and then become active.
We've been fighting this for a few years now, but we're certainly not giving up.
These areas are important. They're important for birds. They're also important for people. So we need to learn to share the shorelines. We can live and we can have development where nature is a part of that development and is protected.
I've been coming here for 30 years, and it's my most dearest wish that my children and their children will be coming in here for another 50 years, and that they'll see and they'll appreciate what I'm seeing.
That's about probably the 10th or 15th time that I've watched that, and I only just noticed who the photographer of some of that fabulous footage was. Dade Payton, terrific, Duade Payton. I suggest that you check him out on YouTube. Magnificent stuff. I also just noticed that those cool T-shirts, Act for Birds T-shirts, I wonder if they're for sale. Really, really, really great. Okay, now Naomi has told us, yes, we all use the phone, don't we? The Nikon D5100. Interested, Naomi, what lens you're popping on the front of that? Stan, you have to put a H on the back of Toondah Harbour. The FZ300. I think I was looking at those. When I bought my lenses, Stan, because I bought this without any lenses, I bought the body on its own, and I got the standard kit lens, but also a 200mm, which is the equivalent to a 400mm on the Micro Four Thirds lens. But I had to buy a G2 camera to get those lenses as well. But yeah, I'm still learning how to use it. The FZ300, is that a 18 megapixel sensor or smaller? I think you can take fine video on that, can't you? Like you're going to get HD for YouTube size, aren't you? 1080p. Camera nerds. Here we are. Naomi's telling us she's got a 300mm lens on her Nikon. That's really cool. Oh, I wish Deb was in the chat with us. She could tell us what she gets for her great shots that she takes every morning. Tell me this, just with a yes or a no in the chat. Are you in the bird Twitter community, and have you seen Deb's fantastic shots that she puts in for First Seen and Heard every morning? Where are we? I better plug that again, but no. Okay, so it's like a combo, like the cool pics. Cool. Naomi, you haven't seen any of Deb's work on Twitter. Now, Naomi, you're not doing the Twitter, are you? So maybe I should be sharing, if Deb lets me, I should be sharing Deb's great work into my Facebook and Instagram. Would that help share things around a bit better? And look, I have to tell a bunch of you off. How come you're not getting involved in first seen and heard? The whole idea is for us to share what we see first thing in the morning. And the idea behind it, I'm sure I've told you all about this. Naomi, have you started up on Mastodon yet? Because I'm just trying to find the best place to isolate into the bird community. The Instagram is really different in how people share or don't share, and I get really tired of the self promo rubbish that you're seeing everywhere. All right, well, Stan, for those of you who don't know, that's Stan's YouTube channel, and Stan, tell us a bit about it. Are you doing as much sort of news? Like, are you like doing using the benefits of YouTube, like a video newsletter, as much as you are like those? I've seen your little pieces that are like, those postcards, TV shows, highlighting, an attraction or a location. We got plenty of time. Let's talk about what you're trying to achieve on YouTube, and see if there's some things people would like to check out as well. Naomi, yeah. Naomi, with Mastodon, you have to pick a server, and some of the servers are better than others. So if you like, I'll try and send you a couple that I suggest on Facebook. I'll send you a message via the Facebook, and that might give you an idea, because some people are having trouble logging in again once they've joined a server, because some of the servers aren't being maintained. It's not centralized in the way that Twitter is. There's a whole heap of different servers that are then federated, and that so you want to try and get onto an active server and get one with good moderators. I did see somebody had a lot of trouble with the server they joined, tolerated a bunch of hate speech, and someone complained and then found themselves kicked off. So, Deb's just messaged me on Twitter. Yeah, this is the thing. You have to. I'll just read it out. I'm sure she won't mind. Deb has just said, I'm listening on Twitch but can't comment unless I download the app and create an account. Well, you certainly have to create an account. That would be the same for YouTube, I would imagine, as well, and Facebook. I find YouTube is the lesser of all the evils. So I'll be doing more. There'll be more and more exclusive stuff on YouTube once I get the hang of all the functions on this. Boy, there's a lot of functions. And because my main idea was to produce short videos and informative videos, especially with the habitat gardening, which I want to do, that will all, be produced in the YouTube kind of format, and also some square stuff for Instagram. So if you've got anything you want me to cover, especially in the habitat gardening kind of area, let me know. So Stan, I'm hoping you're still with us. Just pop in the comments, or actually, Stan, you can join. Do you want to join the stream? Do you want to come in the studio and tell us? Here's what. Yeah. videos for work. So does that mean? You're working for the news, the local newspaper? Yeah, I've noticed. I like your personal stuff. I do like the personal stuff. And I might say, Stan, I have a bunch of YouTube accounts, so I don't usually, when I'm viewing for pleasure, I don't usually log in as the Bird Emergency, so you might not even have any idea who's watching. So there we are. Cooking, fishing, drone flights. That raises a question. Now, we're way off bird stuff, but have you got your own drone, Stan? Sounds like Stan needs to be a guest on Photography Friday if he's got a drone, and we can talk about drones. That would be cool. Let's come up. What have we got here? Okay, Stan, what we'll do, you got a deadline, that's fair enough, and I ramble like you wouldn't believe. Let's hook up a Photography Friday, or maybe a Sunday session to chat about everything KI. David's got a question for you, Stan. How's the cat control going on Kangaroo Island? And actually, I'd be interested in that as well. So give us an update on that. And DJI Air 2. Interested in that, Stan. When you're taking, I'm assuming you're taking 4K video when you are using the drone. That's an assumption, but I would imagine that's why, if you've got the DJI Air 2. When you're taking 4K, how much flying time do you get while you're recording in 4K? I'd be interested in that. Wow, that's a big room today. YouTube, hello, lots of YouTubes. Hello, Twitch. Hello, Facebook. And that's going to be Naomi on Facebook, I think. Cool. Okay, here's an opportunity. Tell us any more of the. If you're new to the game, let's run through. If you're new, I have to go back to the other account. Here we go. Let's have a look at just the recap. White-browed scrub wren nesting in a hat. Grey shrike thrush nesting on top of a cupboard on the back porch. Crested terns nesting in quite a busy colony on Montague Island with a path weaving through the middle of them. You can see the bottom of the path here and the top of the path up here in the right-hand corner. Bush stone curlew nesting at the church, but also that's close to a car park where it's shared by the children and the parents and the pickups and drop-offs for 650 children at the primary school. The willy wagtail nesting on the handlebars of the push bike. Love that. And then the white-browed wood swallow, which really in the fence post. But isn't that one of the most stunning stunning of the birds in Australia? I love the white-browed wood swallow. Okay, more comments. What have we got? Cat control going well. Huge job. Yeah. Oh, yes. they've built a fence dividing the whole island. So does that mean at the moment there's kind of predator-free, there's sort of a predator-free end or a cat-free end? I'm guessing you've still got mice and rats and things like that there. That would be great. We will get you on to talk about that. Okay. So the type of video that you're shooting doesn't really impact your the battery. That's cool. And I'm guessing, Stan, you've got 2 or 3 batteries and you swap them out. That's good. And you mentioned you have the registered with CASA. Does that mean you have to do a course or something to be able to pilot them? I don't know if I love drones yet because we get millions of the drones around here with all the real estate agents taking pictures of everything that's being sold. And now we're about to get the deliveries. I don't know if I'm too happy about that. Okay. Well, that's a really interesting project. Let's talk about that too. So we'll get Stan on the show. There we are. We'll do that, Stan. Now I've got some more notifications on Twitter, so I'm just going to have a look at what they are. Okay, that's just a recap of what we've already talked about. Okay. All right. Anybody else want to contribute a weird, crazy, strange place where they've seen birds nesting? Mars lapwing or the spur-wing plover. Yeah, stacks of places I've seen those nesting. Cricket grounds, footy grounds, car parks. Somebody did mention where another place that they were nesting. I would have thought that the swooping would be an issue, but obviously not. So tell me, Stan, about the course. Is it a difficult thing? Like what do you need to know? I mean, of course, I'm not asking you to tell me everything, but is it the kind of thing that anybody without any sort of aviation experience could fairly easily accomplish? With 3 batteries, that means you're going to get you can be airborne for about an hour. That's really nice. That's really nice. Yeah, but I think I don't think I'll be droning before I invest in a couple more lenses for this little baby. And memory cards. How expensive are memory cards? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now, did I want to give you any more news? Oh, yes. Yes. Bear with me. I've got to look this one up because maybe I can find it on Twitter. Maybe I just will stop sharing that for a minute. And I'll see if I can find the story. Now, I'm guessing you saw the story about the rediscovered Western whipbird in Victoria that Simon Verdon and his group had seen. That was part of the show, last week's show with Holly. I'll just see if I can find out the other one quickly. This popped up in my Twitter feed. Here we are. Now this is an unbelievable bird. Now this is Rare Bird Alert in the UK. Now I will share this again. I'll have to share the okay, let me share this one because it's a good one. Sorry everyone, it takes a lot. So this is the story that was on the Rare Bird Alert in the UK. And I would encourage you to follow Rare Bird Alert on Twitter, which is Rare Bird Alert UK, because it just shows how crazy some Twitchers are for getting the latest thing. Now, this is the black-necked pheasant pigeon in the Mount Kikaran area on Ferguson Island in New Guinea, Papua New Guinea. Now, it had last been seen. The last, I think, 1882. Is that the last? That was the first time they were seen. Two specimens collected in 1882. Never been heard. So yeah, and that was the American Bird Conservancy, Rewild, BirdLife International, and the American Bird Conservancy with a grant from Cosmo Le Breton. So they found it. There's a YouTube video. Can we play that?
Maybe just hit the side arrow.
Oh, they got the trail cam. Fuck. Whoa! He's...
Doka. Doka. Doka.
What is this?
It's owl.
Fuck!
Isn't it owl? We can't tell them. We have to have them look through the photos too. We say nothing.
Hey, we get it!
Holy shit, man.
Shit! Ah! Oh man, this is the
What
happiest
the
moment
fuck?
ever.
Ah!
Shit! Oh man, can you display it back? Ah! Man! Shit, my legs are shivering.
I can't believe it.
God. Jordan, that's an owl.
All right. I hope you enjoyed that. That was cool, right? Can you hear that properly? Obviously, I agree. How good was that? That reminded me, although that guy's reaction, and I'll chase them down and try and get them on. I've had Bennett Hennessy on from the American Bird Conservancy talking about the Ariape mannequin in South America, but I'll try and get someone on to talk about that expedition. As you say, Stan, yeah, really, really happy. That even beats Ann Jones's response on the. I don't know if it was just a BirdLife video or was it on the ABC, I think, when she was out with Sean Dooley and saw the orange-bellied parrot for the first time. That the joy of seeing something that you don't expect to see is fabulous, isn't it? So, yeah. Okay, so that was the news that I teased everyone with. that I would be talking about. And that popped up in my feed not long after the Western Whipbird rediscovery in Victoria, which was nice. It's not as if it was, wasn't thought to be extinct or anything, but that was really, really nice. So, yeah, I saw that was on CNN and Rare Bird Alert on November the 18th. So there we are. That's only a couple of days old. What else have I got? I've got some new notifications. Nice cat. Deb, I know you're listening. What you do, just create a channel, but you don't have to put anything on there. Deb's having issues with YouTube. You do have to create something. When you create your account, you basically create a channel, but you don't have to do anything on there. But you can if you want. Well, I mean, gee, Deb, you could just put lots of bird videos up there, or better yet, why don't you join with me and you can put your stuff up on the Bird Emergency channel? That would be good. Yeah, okay. What do I want to tell you all? If you're not already subscribed to the Bird Emergency on YouTube, please do that. You don't get to do a whole lot of groovy things until you get a certain number of subscribers. And I haven't got that many Bird Nerd subscribers yet, so please, just do it for me. Just do it for me. I watched a stream of a creator the other day, and he's like pretty big on YouTube, but he wants to go onto TikTok, and apparently you need 500 subscribers or something to be able to stream to TikTok, and he was begging for people to follow him and whatnot. Actually, there's a good thing, a poll. There's a new function on YouTube too for polls, and I'm going to start doing those. Sorry, I'm watching the screen, whereas I should be looking at the camera, shouldn't I? Because I've got to be talking to you, not talking to me over there. Are any of you doing, like, just use the comments now. Which socials do you use most, and where would you want bird stuff to be put? It's difficult to sort all those things, or to create interesting and unique stuff in each platform, and they've all got different benefits. So I do the first seen and heard on the Facebook and the Instagram reel is the same thing each morning. I do a short for YouTube, and I do the little 1 minute video that goes out on Twitter. And when I work out how to put it into Mastodon easily, I'll do that too. But what kind of stuff would you be interested in the socials? I've got YouTube covered. I know what I'm going to produce there. I'm working on one at the moment. Gouldy and Finch, how long has it got? Okay. Peter's doing Substack. Okay. LinkedIn. I was streaming to LinkedIn, Peter, and I stopped just simply because I have to pay extra each month to get to all of the outlets, and I wasn't getting any feedback on LinkedIn. So, Peter, this is a question for you. If I was only going to stream to YouTube or LinkedIn, which one would you pick? Substack, I don't really know anything about. It seems to be that you've got to pay to read journalist newsletters there. Instagram, I currently can't stream to Instagram concurrently with everything else. So if that opens up, I will also add streaming to Instagram. But at the moment, I find that most people, if they're on Instagram, they're also accessing Facebook. So Naomi is saying Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. Okay. Stan says Instagram. Yeah, Reddit. I'm contemplating a Discord. I just don't know how we would. I just don't know how I would get better engagement, or I don't think there's a whole lot of bird nerds hanging out on Discord that aren't already on one of the other platforms. But yeah, I'm quite interested in Discord. But I think with the way StreamYard's set up, if I can already bring 10 people into a conversation if we're going to do a panel discussion. So I don't know about adding or changing. I don't really want to add any extra work. I'd just like more people to be getting involved. Okay, YouTube every time. And Peter says Substack. Okay, I will check Substack out, Peter. And Peter, this is a question for you. Would it make any difference to you? Like, would you be more likely to consume my stuff if I was writing stories as well as producing video and podcasts? But if I was writing material and I was just putting it out on the birdemergency.com, would you be more likely to consume it if it was on Substack than if it was on the website I already pay for and maintain? I mean, these are all the discussions, because if you start something, you got to just you got to keep it going. You got to give it a couple of years before you know if it's going to work, especially since the bird sort of community is so small. So I'd be interested in those thoughts, Peter, and actually anybody. I do the socials because the people are there, but I want them all to be on my website so that when I write, I want to start writing stories as well as the podcasts and the bonus material. But I mean, would you be in? Deb, nice to see you. Well done. Well done. I'm glad you made it. Now, Deb is the main contributor of the fantastic vision for First Seen and Heard most mornings when she is popping her pictures up there. So, welcome, Deb. I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you made it. That's really, really, really cool. Right, what have you said, Peter? Video highlights. Fair income. Well, Peter, paid subscription. I was thinking about whether a Patreon. People tend to know about Patreon. I've got some ideas. I've actually been working on a line of T-shirt merch, which is kind of funny as well as topical. So look out for that. But Peter, this is specifically for you. Are there benefits in your mind to Substack as against Patreon? Patreon's really easy for creators to upload like exclusive material, but I can also do that through my far out, Deb, exactly. I can also do that through my website. Like I could have paid only content, and then I don't have to give 10%, 15%, 20% or whatever to Substack. So question for everyone, because I know most of you are, regularly here. So you're obviously the beginnings of the tribe, because we only need a small tribe, right? Isn't that what we all say? Deb, you're going to have to let me know what your Insta is. Obviously, I know what your Facebook is now, and the YouTube. So let us know what that is. You can message me privately if you want to tell me that, and I'll get you on my sort of list. But yeah, Peter, is it a barrier to be putting like subscriber only content on thebirdemergency.com as against one of the other services? Bearing in mind, if you're giving away 30% of $3, right, or something like that, that's a big lot. And I already have the website, so all right, what have you said, Peter? Substack. Yeah, I'll check that out. Kyle Kalinske and Crystal Ball, who I watch for their US political takes, they're on Substack, but I don't subscribe to them. Patreon. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's the thing, Peter, the traffic. But my wonder is how many people have found me by stumbling onto anything. I mean, the podcast is still the best way that people are finding what I'm doing, but the podcast gets very little in the way of comments or ratings or anything like that. So all of the engagement is happening on the live streams. So therefore, I like the live streams more because I like talking to all of you about what you're seeing and doing, because that's much more fun. It's much more fun than writing a blog post and trying to get some advertising money or some sponsorship or whatever. I mean, to be serious about it, no one's going to sponsor a bird podcast. The only people who are going to sponsor anything to do with birds are people who are interested in this stuff, right? Camera manufacturers and binocular manufacturers. Although I do get a couple of books to review, which is nice. But no publisher's ever going to, fling me $500 or $1,000 to talk about their books over the year. That'd be nice though, wouldn't it? But it's all going to be travel and photography. That's where there's any money, if it's ever going to support itself. And I think, as you guys know, if you listen to me regularly, this is what I do. I produce podcasts, and I used to make a living out of producing podcasts for other people. But as we got to the end of the pandemic, that sort of died off. So I've got to find a new way to do things. So, and my motivation has always been supporting people who are doing bird research, practical bird conservation, out there doing the hard yards. So I've got to find a way to tie it all in together. So photography, tourism, that all works with the whole awareness side of it. So I think that all fits in well, and got to have a bit of fun doing it too. So I've got to make some trips and take some photos and do some videography and some photography. So while we're all here, just before we sort of run up, we're up to getting onto the 90 minutes that I usually kind of take. I don't mind going longer, but are there any things, any projects, any people, like any researchers, any projects or any particular species that you would like to know more about, that you would like me to chase down? I'm trying really hard to get more people from Africa and the subcontinent, Indian subcontinent, South America on. Language is a bit of a challenge sometimes. It's hard, and it's also hard to find people who want to come and talk or be involved when they're not that confident with the language. But I am trying hard. I try not to interview people at universities who did not actually do the research. Like I try not to speak to PR people, but give us your suggestions. Gee, Deb, I'm so pleased that you made it on. It's great. It's really, 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 really good. Also, question to all of you, because this is good. This is the tribe. Is that the recent sighting that is under embargo, Deb? It is exciting news. Where was I? What was I asking? Yeah. The habitat gardening stuff. It's a question for you guys because you're the hardcore bird people. I've set up a channel and whatnot so that I could do it all on a separate channel because I'm getting conflicting views. Some people tell me in the podcast feed they only want bird stuff, whereas some people are saying, oh, I like all the extra stuff. What do you think? Extra stuff, yes or no? There's a good poll. Yes or no, extra stuff. And I would encourage you to subscribe on YouTube because there will be more YouTube-only stuff coming out just simply because it's easier. It's just easier to put videos with some functionality with polls and things on YouTube than it is on some of the other places. But maybe I'll find a Facebook group where it's. I just don't really have extra time to be getting up. Okay, thanks, Naomi. That's good. Yeah, it's. Oh, good. That's great. Thanks, Stan. Excellent. Deb's got some very good, exciting news. That's good. I know what it is, but I don't know all of it, obviously. Yay, the extra stuff. Okay, well that's good. Maybe I'll continue to put all the stuff that I think is relevant into the bird emergency, and then we'll do hardcore plant and garden stuff on the other channel, which is Habitat Gardening with Grant. Yeah, and I'll be going. The plan is next year to be going to garden centres, filming spots, going to botanic gardens and parks and filming there, and perhaps with the nurseries and things, maybe doing presentations using my horticultural skills there. But then maybe also doing like a dinner presentation or something with speakers and doing bird nerd trivia, because that's been on the back burner while I've been figuring out how best to do it and not to overdo it. And what's the other thing? The other thing we're working on, tell me too this, we're thinking of doing, me and some people with excellent bird photography skills, we're thinking of doing around the country workshops where I come along and talk about birds and plants and the interactions and all that sort of side issues, and I bring my camera, but there's sort of a workshop, there's a hands-on and a walk around looking for birds and looking at plants and maybe doing some macro photography with a real live expert in photography, maybe supported by a camera store or a brand as well, so that you can get technical advice about the stuff, the gadgets and the tripods and whatnot. You can talk to a actual expert in processing, post-processing, composition, all of those kind of things. And then there'd be me too. What do you guys think about those kind of kind of idea. Taking it on the road. That could be a yes or a no or a thumbs up or a get stuffed. I don't know. You tell me. It takes a lot of time to organise these things, but I'd love to make next year, a year of getting out into, and maybe if you do a Saturday or a Sunday, it would mean I would try and get somewhere and do a Friday at a school and tie in with some of the other programs that are out and about. So what do you reckon? Tell me what you think. Okay. Well, we might have to do a collab on Kangaroo Island, Stan. Tell me, Stan, too, how closely connected is Kangaroo Island and the towns on Kangaroo Island with what's going on the mainland? Like, are the towns fairly closely linked together? It's a whole other thing, isn't it, too, doing outside stuff with the insurance, and it's a nightmare. But we'll work it out. Yeah, I'll just have a look and see where everyone is. Have we still got? Yeah, hello Twitch, still there. Hello YouTube and see Facebook. See, Deb, you're the only Facebooker today. Everyone, it's multiples on all the other platforms, and Facebook. Gee, it's hard to know what to do. I go back to Peter too. Peter did the extra stuff. I'll just put that in. Long as a link to the birds. Yeah. I do find the link is sometimes tenuous. Oh yes, of course, Naomi is, but I don't think Naomi's here right at the moment. I think Naomi had to dash off to do something. I think she. Oh no, there we are. Naomi's still here. All right. Oh, that means that the counter is lying to me. It is. It's lying to me. There we are. That's cool. Where was I? What was I thinking? What was I about to say? I can't remember what I was going to say. Stan, how closely linked are the townships on KI? Oh, and here's you can help me do my planning for coming to KI. I have a project in mind, and is it easier to get to KI by boat or by plane? And I know that there's probably flights are probably really easily available. If I wanted to bring something like a e-bike, okay. Now, so tell me, so Stan, if I was wanting to bring an e-bike and a little trailer and a whole bunch of gear, is there a ferry or something which is the best way to come over? Like Victor Harbour. God, it's years since I've been to Victor Harbour. Obviously, we're not doing a travel show on this live stream, but is that fairly easy to do? Or is it, if people are commuting to go, if they're going shopping in Adelaide, they got to be taking their cars, and it can't be like $100 each way or something like that. So, yeah, I haven't even looked into it. I'm just rambling now, Stan. But that's kind of my plan, is to get an e-bike, get my Micro Four Thirds low weight. I don't know. Well, I won't be coming in a car, so I wouldn't even be going if it was $250. I can tell you that. What about bikes? I mean, I'm guessing that it's pretty easy to do. Low carbon footprint, because you know that I'm all about that, don't you? Review coming up soon too on that book. Thanks to Javier and the publishers, Pelagic Publishing, for sending me that. That was a nice surprise. Okay, well, I think we're gonna wrap up because I'm just rambling, and we've seen most of the birds. Here we go. What's it? I think for King Island, Deb, is for King Island, I think you basically have to fly. I'm also trying to find a way to get down there. I think you have to organise like a private. You have to find somebody who goes down there that is not a passenger. You have to find a boat that goes down there some other way. We might look into that together, Deb, because I want to go down for the next King Island surveys. That would be great. And thanks, Stan. Yeah, $90 return that's much more like it. Okay, well, gee, what are we going to do next week? Because Holly's not back for 2 weeks. So next week, the plan is to... I'm going to talk... you can tell me whether you think this is a good idea or not. I'm thinking about if you were going to spend $100 for a Christmas present for... keeps me out, Stan. So I'm thinking if you had $100 and you have a bird garden person in the family, what would be a good gift for $100? So I'm open to suggestions to share for this, but I'm going to give my thoughts and then we'll talk about that. So that will be next Monday on the 28th with me at midday. Same bat time, same bat channel. So that will be that. Holly will be back with me on the 5th of December, apparently. So that will be fun. And then we'll be starting to think about Christmas. I won't be thinking about Christmas, but just that run into the silly season. And I've banked up a lot of bonus material so that January will be... You'll be able to listen to a podcast every other day. Maybe not that much. Maybe 3 a week over the holidays, so that might be fun. Here we go. I want a poll. I want a poll here. A show of hands. Ferry ticket to KI. That's not a bad idea. Tell me, because we're all here, French Island. Yeah, French Island. I grew up down that way, Deb. I love all that. I'm looking forward to getting back to Phillip Island and French Island and taking... I've got to get the e-bike first. After another lens, that's the next major purchase that's got to happen. How many of you guys are listening to the podcast as against only checking out what's going up on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram? So just give us an idea. Just put P if you're a podcast listener, or O if you're only consuming the other stuff. So it's just really interesting, the take up. and then we'll wrap up after that because I need to take Cocky out for a coffee. I saw a galah this morning. That was the first bird I saw this morning, and I hadn't seen one close up for quite a while. Usually I see them flying past and just hear them and see them flying in the distance, but they're an amazing looking bird, aren't they? Like, we're just spoiled. We're just spoiled by the amazing things we see. Okay, here's a really good question. Isn't the pod the same as YouTube? No, Peter. There is a lot extra stuff on YouTube. The interviews go up there as is, and the podcast is edited, and there's a lot more stuff on my YouTube channel than there is currently on the podcast. P&O sounds like a cruise. Yeah. Oh, the COVID cruise. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. What I do, the YouTube, the YouTube is everything, and the idea is that I put I do all the interviews on YouTube. They also go out on Twitch, but on Twitch after a couple of weeks they drop off the videos on demand. But the idea of going to Twitch is to try and get people who are not hardcore bird nerds to maybe be interested. So if I can hook one or two in from Twitch, that's the plan there. Facebook, because everyone's on Facebook, and particularly in countries like, I love the Philippines. Most people in the Philippines, the internet is Facebook. Facebook put in the infrastructure, so they, if they buy time, they have to buy minutes, and a lot of Asia is like this, and I imagine a lot of Africa is like this too. They'll buy a card, they'll buy minutes, they recharge their SIM, and then they can watch stuff on Facebook, and those minutes are free, or they'll get 3 hours or something a day or something like that. So yeah, Facebook's a necessity because it's very different the way the internet is used there. Yeah. Twitch, Amazon bought Twitch. They did not start Twitch. And of course, it's a way to sell games. Yeah, I mean, that's basically what that has been. But also now they're linking to Amazon Prime and the streaming services and everything there. So yeah. I use Prime because I get lots of value, especially for buying other stuff as well. So, but gee, I wish it would. Wouldn't it be nice if all those good services existed and you didn't have to be friendly with billionaires? How about Bezos? I'm going to give away all my money when I die. Well, you can't spend it all now. Why don't you give it away now and watch it do some good? I don't understand what the point of saying you're going to do. I'm going to do something good in 15 years. Give me credit now, but in 15 years I'll do something nice for someone. Bloody bullshit, in my view. Yeah, where are we? Stan, what's the camping facilities like on KI? My plan is to take my e-bike and a swag and the bare minimum of stuff that I need to continue to produce and upload, and some basic cooking equipment, and that's the plan. Real low carbon trip. So that means sleeping in the swag places. What's the camping like on KI? Let's and then we can wrap up on that. Yeah, I like unofficial. That's why I like the swag. Years ago, I had a series 3 Land Rover and a swag and a bunch of camping gear. But the great thing with the swag, and it was really nice, I could zip up, keep the insects out. It was a little bit like a tent design, but I could just pull up off the side of the road. Lots of places way out of the way, as long as I could hide the Land Rover from passing traffic. So I'd drive down down or around behind a thicket or something. Sleep quite happy. You don't want to be in view of passing traffic. I don't think that's ever a good idea. But yeah, swags are great. Beaches. We got to stay off the beaches, though, don't we? Because the hooded dotterels, the hooded plovers, and the red-capped plovers, and all the other shorebirds, they don't want people driving up and down where they're hanging out. So yeah, that's good. All right, gang. I reckon that's about covered it. Boy, oh boy, we got a lot out of that. So help us out for next week. If you've got any gift ideas, fairly budget gift ideas. Yes, I've got your ferry ticket and your voucher for JB for binos or a camera. We'll talk about that next week. If you want to give me your suggestions, I agree, Naomi. The swag is the go. I don't want to buy a vehicle. I really don't want to have to get a car or anything. I want to try and do the e-bike with perhaps a little trailer. It depends how much gear I would have to take to produce to keep producing podcasts and videos on the way. So that's all being worked out. But yeah, it'd be cool. Actually, I'd love to be able to. Truth be told, I'd love to be able to just hitchhike places and not have. Because, yeah, I don't know what's your take on that these days? Like how, I haven't done it for years, but I used to just walk up to truck stops, and you go to somewhere. You see someone eating their burger and you go, "Excuse me, mate, are you going to such and such? Can I get a lift?" And if they and I go, "Oh, I'll buy you a Big M. What do you reckon?" People are generally wanting to help. So I don't know. Would you do that? I don't know. Maybe I'm just too crazy. I really would. I'm really keen to do something like that. So yeah. Thanks, everyone. I enjoy our special time on a Monday. Yeah, Naomi, I agree. Look, half the fun of travelling is talking to people and meeting people rather than seeing things. It's the interactions you have on the way. And if you've got the less things you got to carry, the less drama you've got getting somewhere. So I haven't shared this story with you. I'll share this one. My old man had polio as a kid, and as a result of that, he had a caliper and was quite severely, it wasn't severely disabled. He could still walk, but with a caliper and a walking stick. He went to Thargomindah, and he got there by, I can't remember where. I think he went to, I can't remember if he went to Cunnamulla. I can't remember where he went to. I think maybe it was, I can't remember which town it was. But the only way to get there was on the mail truck. He hitched a ride. he waited around. He was going to visit someone, and they told him this is the way to get out here. He just went to a bloody truck stop, roadhouse, and waited. And someone said, "Look, there's the guy who takes the mail out to Thargomindah." And Dad just walked over and said, "I want to go to Thargomindah. Any chance I can get a ride?" And he had to haul himself up into the cab. He had to get a hand to get up into the cabin. But yeah, that's how he did it. I think we can go back to a bit of that. I don't know. Maybe I'll end up being, you'll hear about me on the highway. What's that highway? The Mount Isa one, Charters Towers. I don't know about that. There we are. Yeah, look, I got to say, Deb, about hitchhiking. I got to say, if I was a woman travelling on my own, I don't think I'd be hitchhiking. But yeah, I don't know. There's some risk involved, but yeah, I reckon there's risk involved riding a bike along a highway. Actually, I probably think it might be I think the risk might be higher riding a bike along a busy highway. But anyway, life's full of risks nowadays. So yeah, bird nerds, been great. I can't wait to get the camera so that I can actually set it up so that I can still look at the screen and not be looking at that and that. Ooh. Yeah. Thanks for everyone. Peter, Naomi, Mon, Stan. Who else do we have? I think that is most of you in the chat, I think. And the lurkers. Oh, David. Yes, David. Sorry, that was way back. And Mon, we might... and Photography Friday is probably 2 weeks away before I'll set that up, and we'll get some of the regulars back on. I've got a Sandy Horn episode ready to drop. I wanted to save that up until the next Photography Friday was booked in. So we'll get that going. And Stan, thanks for being with us. And I'll reach out to you. Stan is there, sending you a message through KITV on YouTube. Is that the best way to get hold of you, or have you got a better way that I should message you to organise to come on and talk about KI? Naomi, it's always good to have you in the house. Mon, if you're still with us, always enjoy catching up with Mon. And Deb, thanks for always putting your stuff up on First Seen and Heard. And I would encourage the rest of you. The reason I do First Seen and Heard is to try and tie in with what the Aussie bird count was about and what Birds in Backyards with Holly is about. And, even the interview that I did with Jared Hitching about the Prothonotary warbler and, his kids making the nest boxes out of milk cartons and juice cartons in the States, just to appreciate what we have around us each morning, because I think we get blasé about it. So get involved. I'd love to know what's going on. Stan, especially on Kangaroo Island, I'd love to see what your first thing that you see and hear each morning is. And Peter and Mon and Naomi and Deb, and yeah, I'll keep telling you what's going on at St Albans, and when I'm travelling I'll tell you what's going on wherever I am. KL, I'm hoping that it'll be KL shortly too, by the way. Try to organise that now. So, thanks everyone. See ya.